Biden's legacy is genocide, war, and nuclear brinkmanship. That's all anyone should talk about when this psychopath finally dies. Anything positive he may have accomplished in his political career is a drop in the ocean compared to the significance of these mass-scale abuses. Biden spent his entire career promoting war and militarism at every opportunity, and then spent the twilight years of his time in Washington choosing to continue to supply an active genocide that is fully dependent on U.S.-supplied arms. He refused off-ramp after off-ramp to the horrific war in Ukraine that has burned through a generation of men in that country, which he knowingly provoked by amassing a military proxy threat on Russia's border in ways the U.S. would never tolerate being amassed on its own border. In the early weeks of the conflict, Biden and his fellow empire managers sabotaged peace talks to keep the war going for as long as possible with the goal of bleeding Moscow. And at one point, his own intelligence agencies reportedly assessed that the probability of a nuclear war erupting on this front was as high as 50-50. Coin toss odds on nuclear war. To call this a crime against humanity would be a massive understatement. Biden has been facilitating Israeli atrocities in the Middle East with U.S. military expansionism in the region and bombing operations in Yemen, Iraq, and Syria. He will spend his lame duck months backing Israel's scorched earth demolition of southern Lebanon. This is who Biden is. It is who he has always been. It is true that his brain has begun to rot away, just like his conscience has rotted. But in his lucid moments, he adamantly defends his administration's decisions as the only correct course of action, and it aligns perfectly with his past. To know this, one need only look at the pivotal role he played in pushing the Iraq invasion, or his extremist rhetoric about how if there were not an Israel, we'd have to invent one. This is the legacy that Democrats were forced to spend the last election cycle pretending is great and awesome. It's no wonder they lost. So now, as a parting gift from Joe Biden, Americans and the world get another 4 years of Donald Trump. That's the story of Joe Biden. That's the whole entire thing. Anything on top of that is irrelevant narrative fluff.